Welcome back. Now, as you can clearly see, we've been working tirelessly all morning. So it's about time we sat down and took ourselves a little tea break.
Well earned. And Krissy Gibson from Take the Cake has the perfect treat for tea dunking.
Yes.
It goes by the name of Mrs. Peterson's cookies.
You got to do that in American accent.
Miss Gibson, good morning. Who's Miss Peterson?
Good morning, Mr. Power.
Good morning.
Now.
Wow, we haven't
Very
even got stuck into
mysterious,
the tea
isn't
yet.
it, Mrs. Peterson's cookies?
Yeah.
This is very exclusive today, only on Ireland AM, gentlemen.
So this was a recipe that was given to you by...
This was our family's babysitter in Vancouver.
Okay.
So this was 50 years ago. So
Wow.
she was 85 at the time. So, you know, she's probably long since passed.
Really?
But Mrs. Peterson's cookies have stayed with us. And every now and then on the show, I like to do something very personal. You guys liked,
do, yeah.
You liked our banana fritters. You liked
That's
our
right.
biscuits and honey.
Yeah.
This would be another one that's very close to my heart. My daughter loves them, and she's been hounding me for 3 years to get these done on the show.
Oh, right,
so
okay.
here
Well,
we go.
This is for her, so...
It is.
Okay.
There you go, Charlotte. Now, we're starting with 115 grams of softened butter and 110 grams of castor sugar. If you want to use granulated sugar, that's okay too. I mix these two up until they're nice and fluffy, okay? And we're going to add one more type of sugar to this before we're done. This is light muscovado sugar. And we're going to add 220 grams of this. Now, light muscovado sugar has more moisture and a bit of molasses in it. So what you get when you add light muscovado sugar to your cookies is a softer cookie. Now,
Yeah, I was going to say, these aren't cookies that are going to snap.
no, these are
Okay.
really, really different. In fact, I think that anybody who tries these at home, they will find that they are unlike any other cookies they've had, because these are a cakey cookie. You know how cookies either bend or they snap, and these really don't do either. These are cakey. So is it a cookie? Is it a cake? I don't know.
Are they chewy? Are they gooey?
Yeah, they're chewy and gooey, and you're going to find
There's
out
a
pretty
jingle
soon.
writing itself here, lads.
There is indeed.
Is it cakey? Is it
Can
cookie?
we
Is it chewy? Is
improvise
it gooey?
on the whatever the type of sugar you just put in was called?
The muscovado.
Light muscovado,
Thank you,
no.
Simon.
Well done.
No, don't use dark muscovado.
Gotcha. Okay.
And
Don't,
don't double
don't.
up on the white sugar. You want to do 110 white sugar and 220 light muscovado sugar. So we're going to add 2 eggs to this mixture,
So
okay?
did you, back in the day, ask Mrs. Peterson for this recipe? Or
No,
did you
she
just
used
pass-
to make them for us, and we all liked them so much, apparently. This is way when we lived back in Vancouver, so I have very little recollection of it, but she gave the recipe to my mom.
Ah, very good.
So my mom made them for us growing up, and they were always one of our
Your
favorites.
mother is the keeper of the recipes. Yes.
She really is.
Yeah.
You know she is.
Yes, I do, yeah.
So we're going to give this another mix. After we add those 2 eggs, it's going to become nice and fluffy.
Okay.
We have just about 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract to add, so that's about 10 mils. So we'll dump that in. And here's where it gets a little bit different. This might be something different for you. You don't usually find this ingredient in cookies. This is evaporated milk. Okay?
Evaporated milk.
Evaporated
Oh, right,
milk.
okay.
Now, evaporated milk is a substitute for, say, full-fat milk or cream. The difference is it's not as bad for you, and you still get the really creamy texture. So you can bake with evaporated milk in the same way that you might add milk or cream to your
right,
cookie or
Okay,
cake.
so it is a tin-bought thing. It's
So
not something you do
you're
with
buying
milk
it in a
to
can, and
evaporate
do
it.
not confuse it with sweetened condensed milk.
Yeah.
We are not using sweetened condensed milk. We're using evaporated milk.
Evaporated
It's a taller can.
Okay.
Okay, so in the cookies, we're adding 260 mils.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to give that another whip. And over here on the stove, lads, you might have noticed that I was browning some butter earlier.
Well, can I just jump in there and say that you were indeed browning some butter, and then you left that in the capable hands of someone who shall remain nameless, who's without question, one of the best chefs this side of Merino Park, Sinead, our floor manager, who burnt it.
No. She did nothing
No,
of
she
the
didn't
sort.
burn it.
You were ratting her outside.
This stove is so tricky.
Oh,
it's
it's
an
the
induction stove.
you're blaming the stove.
I did walk
There's
away.
poor Sinead getting...
I take full
Yeah, now in fairness,
responsibility.
You did a great job.
And in fairness to Sinead, she is such an accomplished cook. I would be so surprised at your burning butter.
She's in charge of the microwave here, usually.
Okay, so yeah, we'll get to the brown butter in a minute. But so we've added our evaporated milk. We're giving that another mix, okay? We're also going to add a dry mixture. So we're doing a half a teaspoon each of bread soda and salt, okay, into 500 grams of self-raising flour, okay? Even though I said these are cakey cookies, we're not using cake flour, in case you're wondering. We're doing about 10 grams of baking powder, all right?
And could you add chocolate chips? Or, I mean, I don't want to ruin Mrs. Peterson's perfectly classical recipe.
Simon.
But
Well, then
I
the
know.
answer would be no.
Sorry, I got a look there that's frightened me, Aidan, I'll be honest with you. I've
Simon,
turned cold inside. That'll be a no.
You got
then.
the look, yeah.
I tell you what, I'll come on and we'll make some chocolate chip cookies together soon.
Fine.
How does that
That's
sound?
all I wanted to know.
Is that a good
That's
compromise?
Easily pleased.
That's absolutely,
Now,
yeah.
so we've mixed together those 4 dry ingredients, okay? And we're going to take our hand mixer and beat them together. After we're done making our dough, we're gonna chill it. You have to chill this for at least a half an hour, okay? Keep blending it until it's nice and creamy, and you'll find that when you're done, it's going to look something like this. Now, I have chilled this already. You don't want to bake it directly from having mixed it. You're gonna chill it for at least a half an hour. So while that's chilling, we're going to go ahead and make the glaze. Do you notice how on the cookies, there's a nice glaze?
Yes.
This is a browned butter glaze. Now, browned butter is pure magic. I have only one item on my menu that has a brown butter frosting, and it is gorge. So when you brown your butter, you are literally boiling it until it looks like a Guinness. Maybe not quite as dark as a Guinness, but that's what you're going for. You boil the butter and you stir it all the while, watching it, not walking away like I did, poor Sinead.
Yeah, you left poor Sinead holding the baby there.
And you will find that your butter goes very bubbly and it'll get that head on the top like a Guinness does. And as you stir it, you'll see it go brown. So you don't want it to go black. You don't want it to burn. Once it smokes, you can no longer use it. If it burns, you got to toss it out.
Get rid of it,
So there's a fine line.
Brown your butter, and when it's a nice shade of brown with some bits on the bottom, don't let the bits scare you, stop. Set it aside,
Very
okay?
good.
Now, in your little bowls there, gentlemen, you have a bit of browned butter. Give that a smell, and the reason, and even maybe taste it if you want.
It's nutty.
It is nutty. So
Taste
when
that
you
now, Aidan.
when you brown your butter,
first.
you are caramelizing the fat in the butter, and the result is a really nutty quality. And it's really, really unique.
Oh.
Isn't
Gorgeous,
that nice?
isn't it? Can we dive in?
Nearly just to,
Can we
for it.
dive in here,
drink it.
Krissy?
Go ahead.
So it is cakey. Look at the texture on that.
Okay, so
Now, brown butter, by the way, I will mention, you can use it for anything. Anytime you might use butter in a sauce for meat or fish or bread or anything, it just adds a different quality.
so soft, isn't it?
It's light as a feather.
Are we dunking?
Are you a dunker?
We're gonna dunk.
If you
You're
want to, you
dunking.
can.
Oh, look.
So I'm making the glaze by adding
Together.
140 grams of icing sugar to my browned butter and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, that's 5 mils, and then 130 more mils, guys, of evaporated milk, okay?
Right, okay. That
And then-
glaze, by the way, is amazing.
Isn't that nice?
Oh, it's gorgeous, yeah.
But do you see what I mean about the uniqueness of the flavor?
Yeah, it's very unique.
And
Aidan,
the
what do you think?
consistency of them.
They're very
That's a cake,
cakey.
baby. Is that a cookie or a cake, Aidan? Is it a cookie?
It's a cakey cookie.
It's a cakey cookie. Okay.
It is a cakey cookie.
Yeah.
Oh, my,
Now,
so good.
Before I glaze my cookies, I'm going to go over here to this side and glaze my cookies. I like to let my glaze set aside a few minutes. You're going to bake these cookies for about 10 minutes if you make them big, the way I like to. If you're going to make them small, just bake them for 8 minutes at 160. And I like to, when I make my glaze,
Look at
I like
that.
to make it gloopy.
Yeah,
All right,
gloopy
that's
glaze.
a perfect glaze. I like to let
Small
it
village
sit.
Leitrim.
I like to
Carry
let
on.
it sit and cool a little bit. Once your glaze cools a little bit, it'll become a bit thicker and easier to spread, you see?
Yes.
And that's how you make Mrs. Peterson's cookies. If you prefer to use a different name, we can call these browned butter cookies.
Oh, I think they deserve to be called Mrs. Peterson.
Mrs. Peterson deserves full credit.
I agree.
It's her legacy, it's her recipe, and
thank you to your
absolutely
mother for
gorgeous.
passing the recipe on. Thank you, Krissy. They
My
are
pleasure.
absolutely
Krissy, as ever.
delicious. Beautiful.
Another-
Full recipe details are, of course, up on the website, or you can check out Krissy's own website, takethecake.ie, for a list of more of her recipes and her stockers. Lots more still to come on Ireland AM. Don't go anywhere. Thank you, Krissy.
Thanks, Krissy.